I've started cleaning up the back of the bow using my spoke shave, but it's all a bit rough on my elbow. I've got a dodgy left elbow. So I thought I'd sharpen the spoke shave blade using oil stone and some diamond stones that my brother gave me, that came from an old friend of his who died, a violin maker. But my handy hint for sharpening any blade, just get one of them, a little jeweller's loop. It'll allow you to actually look at the edge of the blade and see where it's being sharpened, and you can see all the little tiny little nicks and gouges. But it's made a big difference because hickory is pretty hard stuff. So I'm just going to nibble away at this slowly, and then I'll mark it out and put it on the bandsaw, reduce the width a little bit. See how it's cutting quite nicely. Just trying to get past all these saw marks. There we are, slow and steady. And before I sharpened this, it was really struggling and juddering and banging about. It's only a cheap spoke shave, but it's like anything. You get a cheap tool and you tidy it up, clean it up, sharpen it well, adjust it nicely, and it'll do a job for you. That's making quite rapid progress. Anyway, I've put a slight taper on it, on the bandsaw, narrowed it slightly to about 27 millimeters. Continued cleaning up the back so it's near a growth ring. Now what I'll do is I'll just look at the thickness taper, get rid of any obvious sort of thick bits, maybe take about a couple of millimeters off generally because the draw weight was way too high. Run it through the bandsaw, slap it on the tiller again. Now I've marked out a line that I'm going to rough it to, and how I do it is I just hold my pencil like that, guided by the back, and as I move it along I just gradually bring the pencil in, just waggling it back and forth by eye, you know. It's not going to take off too much, a little bit off here, getting rid of obvious thick points. And because it's been done on the bandsaw, I'm not going to go mad. And then we'll see how that goes. Just filing in the temporary knocks. I noticed this bit of nastiness there. I don't know if it's a crack or what. Hopefully it doesn't go too deep and it will disappear by the time the bow's getting on finished. I also put a line indicating the direction of the grain, because I was just tidying up a thick point with the spoke shave and it was tearing when I went that way. But we'll get it back on the tiller and have a look. Put it a bit harder. Certainly bending. Right, that was 100, and it's certainly bending there and there. So I can see there's a bit of a thin bit there, so I'll mark that as with an L for leave. And I might taper the outers a bit more widthwise, get them coming round. My weak point. That was 100. I couldn't really see how far it was, but that will give me an idea when I look at the video. And hopefully I've still got enough wood left to make £120 bow. I didn't take a lot off when I was trimming the belly, but of course I'd taken a little off the back where I was tidying up the growth rings. And the other thing with a warbow is you can't afford to take a lot off, because by the time you've got it braced you're almost finished, because it takes such a lot of strain to actually brace the darn thing in the first place. Anyhow, there we go.